We can solve equations that are all variables, or when there's multiple variables or multiple unknowns. Sometimes you'll see these equations called literal equations. So what we're going to do to keep track in our heads is highlight the letter we're solving for, and then we solve. We get everything else to the other side. So if we look at this first equation, we have d equals RT, typically our distance equals rate times time equation, and we're being told to solve for t. So I want to get that t by itself. I know it's rate times time. When variables are smushed together, it's multiplication. So to undo that multiplication, I'm going to use division and divide by r. I know whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other side. So that gives me d over r equals t. We can leave our answer like that, or if you prefer to rewrite it as t equals d over r, you can. If we look at the next example, we have p equals 2l plus 2w. We want to solve for w. So this is our formula for perimeter of a rectangle. The perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So this case, we're solving for w. My goal is to treat that like my variable and get rid of everything else on that side of the equation. So I have addition and multiplication. I know from solving equations, I undo addition and subtraction first. To get rid of this positive 2l, I'm going to subtract 2l from both sides. Now, p minus 2l, I can't actually do anything with it because they're not like terms, so I just need to write p minus 2l equals. On the right-hand side, those 2l's canceled out, so it equals 2w. Now I need to get rid of that 2 so that I can get the w completely by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And that gives me that p minus 2l over 2 equals w. I can leave my answer like that, but as before, if you prefer to write the w equals first, you can. If we look at the next example, we have a equals 1/2 bh. Our goal is to solve for h. So in this case, in our formula for area of a triangle, we have a fraction. I want to get rid of that fraction because it's on the same side as that h. I know to get rid of fractions, I multiply by the least common denominator. So I'm going to multiply by 2. If I do that, I'll have 2a equals. Then on the right-hand side, the 1/2 and the 2 will cancel out. So it equals b times h. Then I want to get the h by itself, so I undo multiplication with division. That gives me 2a over b equals h. And as before, if you prefer to write it as h equals 2a over b, you can. If we look at the last example, we have 2a minus f equals w. We're told to solve for a, so our goal is to get that a by itself. I have multiplication and subtraction on the same side as that a, so I need to get rid of that subtraction first. I'm going to add f to both sides. If I do that, I end up with 2a equals w plus f. As before, that w and f are not like terms, so I can't actually combine them. Now I need to get that a by itself. It's 2 times a. To undo multiplication, I use division. So I'll have a equals w plus f over 2 as my final answer.